Shall I start, sir?
Yeah.
Chivai and good afternoon, friends from the media. I would like to formally welcome all of you to this press conference during the visit of the Honorable Election Commission to review poll preparedness for assembly elections in Mizoram. I have with me the Honorable Chief Election Commissioner, Shri Rajiv Kumar ji, the Honorable Election Commissioner, Shri Anup Chandra Pandey ji, and the Honorable Commissioner, Shri Arun Goyal ji, along with senior commission officials from Delhi and the CEO of Mizoram, Shri Madhup Vyas. The format is as follows. There will be opening remarks by the CEC along with a presentation. We will share the PDF copy of the presentation with all of you after this event is over. This will also be shared on ECI's Twitter. Following this, there will be a brief question and answer session. Please confine your question to the review of poll preparedness. We'll take a first batch of questions and the Commission will answer them. When you want to ask a question, raise your hand, wait for a chance to be called to put your question. The mic will come to you. When it's your turn, introduce yourself and your organization and then ask the question. Please keep your mobiles on silent mode. Thank you. Sir, floor is to you.
Honorable Election Commissioner Shri Anup Chandra Pandey ji on my right, Shri Arun Goyal ji on my left, CEO of Meghalaya, of Mizoram, DG Media, all senior officers, friends from the media. Namaskar, Chivai, and good afternoon. I welcome you all to this press conference. At the outset, on behalf of the Election Commission, I express my greetings to Mizoram residents and urge them to participate in the forthcoming elections in a larger number and in a very ethical manner. Mizoram is a storehouse of natural beauty with its endless variety of landscape, hilly terrains, meandering streams, deep gorges, rich wealth of flora and fauna. Also known for their hospitality, people and society here are knitted together by a very, very solid code of ethics. And I'm sure that this will reflect during the voting also when people turn up in larger numbers and in a very ethical voting. We met the political parties. I'm just coming one by one. So the first thing we do is to meet political parties so that we hear them out. We met national and regional political parties. The parties who attended were AAP, BJP, Indian National Congress and MNF. I'll just briefly tell you what were their requests and then tell you what we will do about that. So the request was for some of them requested for increasing the limit of expenditure in Mizoram for the candidates. All parties, one by one, one after another, requested not to schedule the polls on Saturday and Sunday. There was request for no unreasonable restrictions on placing of posters and the campaign material. One of the parties requested for providing transport to the voters who are persons with disability, PWDs. Then as regards the voting from home for the senior citizens 80 plus and PWDs, they said that their vote secrecy may be maintained. So these were the major demands from. I'll give you an overview of answer of each one of these during my address. So just to first give you an overview of what is the position of electors and all. The total electors in these states are 8.38 lakhs. Total number of constituencies are 40, of which one is the general agency and rest of all are 39 ST constituencies. The female voters outnumber male voters, which is a very, very encouraging and positive part in the state of Mizoram. The service voters number is 5021, while persons with disabilities are 3058. There are 919080 years and above voters, and there are also 615 voters who are 100 plus. Now, friends, the Commission is emphasizing a lot on the young voters. So catch them young. I mean, as soon as they become 18, we must get them into our electoral roll. So the SSR is also focusing on the young voters. So the first time voters between 18 to 19 years of age cohort are 40,934. And as I mentioned earlier, the role gender ratio is 1060, favorable for, very favorable and encouraging for women. During this exercise, this SSR, the Commission has laid special emphasis on registration of new age voters, old age voters, and also the persons with disabilities. And electoral roll is revision going on. The final will be published on 4th of October 2023, well before the election. Now, after the electors' data, if I give you an overview of the polling stations, the number of polling stations in the state is 1276, and average voter per booth is only 657. We have a restriction that it cannot be in any case more than 1500 per booth, but here average voter number is 657 because of the difficult terrain and distant places. I won't say predominantly, but more in rural areas 751 with 525 in the urban areas. And of which 95 would be purely women managed polling stations. This is a part of the, again, empowerment exercise all over the country, that we manage some booths through the women employees, including the the police personnels are also women. Similarly, there would be 11 PWD managed booths also. I mean, the total booths would be managed by persons with disabilities. So that, this is again a message which we want to convey. And don't convey, we want to use our platform to express this, that they are also equally capable. They don't suffer from that kind of any problem. That is, if given the chance, they can always perform better. There would be similarly, in order to give encouragement to youth, so whosoever is the young youngest employees recently recruited, will manage 40 polling stations through them. And there would be 40 model polling stations also. So women managed polling stations, PWD managed polling stations, model polling stations, and youth managed polling stations. And in some districts, there would be theme-based polling stations also, environment-friendly polling stations. There would be webcasting on 50% polling stations, which means 638 would have the webcasting facility. Regular monitoring will be done by the CO and DO when the polling takes place, and also during the entire campaigning period. To enhance the voters' experience, just the pictures of how the polling stations would look. This is just to convey to the public at large through our media friends, so that they come and participate in the festival of democracy on the day of polling. These are our PWD friends who will be managing it. Young teams would manage this, and many more polling stations will come up in the form of the model polling stations. Friends, each polling station will have basic assured minimum facilities. They will have a ramp for our PWD voters, toilets, light, drinking water, electricity, and they will have signages, they will have poll volunteers. So that, if anybody wants any help, that would all be available there. All the district magistrates and in our meetings with the senior officials, they have been all requested and directed to complete the availability of these basic facilities at all the polling stations. If we come to the next point of how PWDs and senior citizens would be. So as I mentioned, there are 3058 PWDs, 919080 plus senior citizens, 615 is the number. So how would we facilitate? This time Commission is allowing them to exercise their right if they want to vote from their home. If they are for any reason not able to come to the polling station, our request is for everybody to participate and come to the polling station. but for if any reason they are not well or something, then there is a form 12D which can be filled up within 5 days of notification. That is a form to show willingness that we want to exercise the facility of boat from our home, which they can exercise. So this is for the persons with disability who have 40% and plus disability, or the senior citizens 80 plus. Or instead of this, if they are coming to the polling station, I will talk when the IT systems I talk about. There is a application, mobile app called the Saksham. Saksham means I am capable, on which the persons with disabilities can book their facilities. If they want a ramp, if they want a wheelchair, they want a volunteer, or they want anything, they can register and also pre-book those services which are available on the Saksham app. So, going to the last mile and having inclusive and participative elections, you know more than us how some of the polling stations are tough. This is the condition in which the polling parties would be going. There are 22 non-motorable polling stations in the state, and they will be navigated either through boats or on foot or maybe some other ways, but there would be a party well dispatched within the time frame to reach the polling stations. Some of the polling stations are like this. We are giving you the tough and inaccessible areas polling stations. Next, just the glimpse of it. Now I come to the IT applications. There is a lot of use of the information technology in the conduct of elections. In 3 verticals we use the technology. Firstly, for voters. Secondly, for candidates and political parties. Thirdly, for management of elections. So this is what we are saying about voters. Now, our resolve is to do the elections in absolutely fair and inducement free. Now, how can they be inducement free? I will come to whatever instructions we have given to you, but before that, we have an application and we request you to kindly popularize it to the masses. C-Vigil means, by and large, it means the citizens we vigilant. Means help us in identifying, give us information if there is anything wrong happening anywhere. If money is being distributed, or drugs are passing through, or somebody is getting liquor from somewhere, or posters are being wrongly put, or whatever violation as per you is taking place, please inform us. And what is the way of informing? Just take a photo from your mobile, post it. Just write text, post it. Write it on paper, take a photo, post it. So, and don't say anything else. Your longitude and latitude, because of the phone, we will capture ourselves. Our system, the C-Vigil, can capture the lat-long of the location of the phone through lat-long, and can auto detect that it is from this and this constituency and from this and this locality. And within 100 minutes, our nearby team will reach and check that particular point. This is what we are guaranteeing. This is what we are attempting, enduring, that within 100 minutes our team which is nearby reaches the location which has been captured and resolve the issue. Many states people have used it very, very effectively, and I'm sure the state of Mizoram would definitely use it, because people are very enlightened and would like to see that elections are ethical, and it will help us a great way. Then we have a voter helpline. Anybody can check, apply online, can check the name in the electoral roll, can do the polling station details, can collect with BLO and ERO, check election results, information on EVM, download EPIC if your mobile number is linked to your voter card, you can even download your EPIC. So this is what it is. Now coming to the political parties and candidates. This is the portal called Suvidha portal. It is for their information, which we would also like you to kindly popularize, that whatever facilities they want to take, say booking of the campaign ground, taking permissions for the vehicles, All that can be taken on the Suvidha portal, and the facility is giving on first in first out basis. So if I have applied for booking a ground for my rally first, DEO is supposed to give it first to me, so that there is a level playing field. The party in power or influential person doesn't kind of capture everything, rather it is for everybody equally available. Then next, we come to another very important application which we have, and again please popularize it. This is Know Your Candidate. So this is a part of the informed voting, again which will ensure the ethical voting. All the details of the candidates are available on this application called KYC Know Your Candidate. Means the entire affidavit which he files is available. So you can view what details the candidate has given, so that electors are informed before voting a particular candidate. If by chance a candidate has criminal cases against him, he is supposed to publicize it 3 times prominently in the newspapers and also on the electronic media, and also give details here, so that the voters have a right. Voters know well in advance that if there is a criminal background, it is well known to the voters, and the candidates and political parties both have to give it on their website also, for the information of the voters. Political parties have to even give reasons as to why they could not select anybody who does not have a criminal background. Is it that there was nobody available in the constituency from where you have fielded a person with a criminal background? That reason, justification also political parties are supposed to give. Friends, our main thrust is on transparency. That is how we claim that the elections are free, fair and participatory. What is this vision of transparency in election process? At every stage, from preparation of electoral rolls to poll, as we call it, roll to poll, every stage all stakeholders, including political parties, are involved. So updation of electoral rolls. The copies are given first when the draft publication takes place to political parties. Anything, please indicate. Please object. There is a form available. Please object. Standing committee meetings takes place. All FLCs, symbol loading, commissioning, everything happens there. Mock poll is done number of times when the FLC takes place and also before the start of the poll. Storage, transportation of EVMs, booth levying agents, polling agents, everywhere. What we are trying to say is that political parties are involved and all candidates are involved. And as one party demanded that during the home voting for the senior citizens, there must be secrecy of ballot. So there are 2-3 things which happen together. Number one, entire process is videographed. The political parties, candidates of that particular constituency would be informed in advance that today the team will go to house of so and so to get the vote, please come. So they have a right to appoint their BL, any agent. And then everything would be videographed. So this is how, and there would be a compartment which would secure voting, which will secure the secrecy of the voting. And at every stage we would encourage the political parties to join. And of course, since everything is on our website and even on the polling day, media is always our eyes and ears and can always remain at that place. Friends, now coming to the enforcement part, you are all aware the interstate border with Assam, Tripura and Manipur, and also international border with Bangladesh and Myanmar. We have instructed in 2 days in great detail to all enforcement agencies to have very, very strict vigil on these places. Just go back. Now we have met state police, excise, GST, revenue intelligence, CISF, the state and central government together, income tax, enforcement directorate, civil aviation, BCAS, helicopters, Narcotics Control Bureau, RBI, how do you manage the cash, State Transport Department, Forest Department, all of them together. And so that enforcement is absolutely robust. What have we told them? Next. As I mentioned, the extra vigil on the interstate and international borders to essentially focus on inter alia other things, but liquor, cash, and drugs. We have been extremely emphatic with the state excise, with Narcotic Controls Bureau, Police Department, Assam Rifles, everyone, BSF, that they need to curb this menace of drugs. We cannot allow it spoils the entire society. So, and since it's a prohibition state, how can you allow the liquor to come in from wherever it is coming nearby borders? So they have been asked to be extremely vigilant, and also told if we find any time any laxity on this, will come very heavily on them. The checkpost on strategic locations with CCTV monitoring, wherever at 2-3 places in international border, we found that there are no checkposts. We've asked the Home Department to create those and equip them for the election purposes. SLBC and RBI have been instructed to not allow the vans, cash dispensing vans, which go and fill up the ATMs through the chest, to move after 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening till morning, so that nobody misuses them for, in the disguise of the vans of the banks, nobody carries the cash or anything. Next. So, next. This also has told that the action when the enforcement agencies take, it is not that against the small persons they take the actions. 2 bottles, 3 bottles, this much drug, that much drug. Just go after the organized syndicates or rackets which are working, or which you anticipate are working. So use the analytics, use the intelligence, and be very, very harsh on them. So friends, similarly DOs and SPs of all the districts have been very clearly instructed to provide level playing field to all the candidates and political parties. No favor to anyone. Like first in, first out, providing copies to everybody, giving equal treatment to everyone. And attend to their complaints, publish the electoral rolls in time, and also provide copies to the political parties at each stage. Wherever the instructions demand, at each stage give them parties. They have also been asked to take care of those locations where there are more than 1 or 2 polling stations, so that there is no unnecessary crowd. So the entire district administration, police administration, excise, and all these enforcement agencies, and we have been assured by the state government and also by all of them that they will abide by this, and in any case will keep eyes and ears open to ensure that it is enforced. So friends, Election Commission of India again during this visit retreats that the elections in the state should be very free, fair, transparent, peaceful, and you have a history of doing it like that. Your percentages are also high. District officials have also identified those booths where percentages have been lesser than the state average. They will do extra awareness activities on those polling stations. And level playing field, of course, they will provide. Another thing they will keep watch is on social media. They will use social media for awareness activities, for encouraging women, youth, persons with disabilities, 80+, but they will also be careful in seeing that there are no wrong narratives or rumors which are spread. These are the times when social media can create those kinds of rumors. There are specific sections, specific criminal liabilities. If somebody is doing that, they'll be keeping a strong watch in the media cells which they will establish in their districts, SPs and all. and also in the headquarters. Most importantly, media, whenever we end our visit, we talk to media. This is only to explain as to what happened in last 2-3 days whenever we go to any state. Also to explain what the political party's expectation was, how we are addressing it. Also to tell you what we have instructed to the enforcement agencies and what kind of arrangements are being made. So that you as in, number one, it is disseminated to the voters that this is what is the status, this is what we have done. And secondly, you keep a watch on this. So you have always been our eyes and ears and natural ally, and we seek your cooperation again in highlighting these points, especially the facilities for 80+, the C-Vigil, the Know Your Candidate, the Suvidha portal. And thank you very much. We always again through you request all the voters of the state Mizoram that they should come in large number to vote, and especially our young friends, that they should not stay back at home and say it's a holiday. They should definitely come out and participate in the democratic festival. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that very comprehensive briefing. Floor is open for questions. Kindly raise your hand. The mic will come to you. Yeah, please, Doordarshan. Yes.
Do I need to stand?